I'm very worried that the president's so proud of withdrawing all of our forces next year, 2016, from Afghanistan. We'll see Taliban take back over there and provide a privileged sanctuary for Pakistani Taliban to bring that government down. And that's actually more serious than Afghanistan because the Pakistanis have nuclear weapons.
Yeah, indeed they do. But
all right, there he is, our friend talking about the crazy state of affairs, and it got crazier today. Major General Paul E. Vallely, retired Major General, U.S. Army and Chairman of Stand Up America, joined us. In general, I want to talk about China, and as a matter of fact, the President in his remarks today actually mentioned our relationship with China in defending what he wants to do now with Cuba. But what do you make of, all of a sudden, Cuba lets go an American that they never should have held in the first place? They held him for 5 years. And guess what? So we're releasing all kinds of prisoners. Cuba, as Marco Rubio said, does nothing in return, basically, except release Alan Gross. They make no promises on democracy, no promises on anything, and we're giving them everything they want.
Well, Steve, I mean, it is crazy. The state of affairs, our international relationships, it's all over the place with this administration. As Obama tries to reach out and establish friends, and every time he does, he seems to create more enemies and create more confusion in our foreign policy area. Even John Kerry's probably swirling around trying to figure out what's going on with this White House. But certainly they're not dealing rationally or in realities, and they're cozying up to Cuba, probably a one-sided deal, just like they try to do with Iran. It's unbelievable, Steve, what's happening.
It is, and he said that that Secretary of State Kerry, he's talked to him about reassigning the designation of Cuba as supporting terrorism as a state sponsor of terrorism, doing away with that as well.
Well, probably so. And, Cuba's cozied up to the Chinese and the Russians for decades, so they're firmly in the pockets of those two international powers down there, right at the soft belly of the United States. But I'll tell you, we are in jeopardy with this administration. I'm not sure what the American people want to do now other than get us secure and be secure, but unless we replace this national security team with people that have some common sense, and the Pentagon standing up for some of these threats to America, whether they be financial or militarily or ISIS or the buildup of China and the oceans in the Far East, Russia, maybe taking some serious action now because of their depressed ruble and things that are happening economically in Russia. It's a dangerous world. That's why we need the best team possible to safeguard America.
Well, we're never going to get it for the next 2 years. We're going to get Obama's rubber stamp, no matter what position we're talking about. Let's talk about China. As I mentioned, the president, in defending this move with Cuba, said, it's a 50-year-old fight, and none of us were around then. And by the way, we have economic relations and all kinds of relations with China, and they're a repressive regime. They're a communist regime, as if to legitimize now having one with Cuba. But let's talk about something that you mentioned, and that is the continued military expansion in China. And, they make no bones about it. And we're just kind of blind, not we, not you, not I, not our audience, but the administration is just acting as if they're blind to it all.
Well, you remember about a year ago, Steve, the Obama administration tried to take the focus off the Middle East and refocus on the Orient and China. And so that basically has gone nowhere. Again, the Chinese look at the assets that the United States has in that area, in South Korea, in our fleets, in Guam, Okinawa, Japan. And so we do have a continued presence over there, but, they copy our technology. That is fighter plane they have. It's a copy of one of our advanced fighters. So they're progressing very rapidly with a big threat in what we call cyber terrorism.
All right, we're having a little trouble with your Skype, General. Let me ask you here about what you would suggest that we do, economically, militarily. What can we do? I mean, China spits in our face through the cyber attacks and the threat that they pose in space, in the sea, as you said, and we just do nothing. What would you recommend if you were sitting in that Oval Office or in those national security meetings? What would you advise this administration to do?
Well, Steve, we've got to be on the offensive in all these different areas and take the high ground, move forward, make sure that these nations understand America is strong and we will not tolerate any threats to America. We will, in fact, take action, even if it's counter cyber terrorism type of tactics. But we have to be strong in our fleets out there. They have to have a strategy of dealing with any incursions by China in areas that they look that they're going to be very aggressive in. That'd be the islands off of China.
Right.
But you have to have a firm leadership that is respected with credibility in the world, and we don't have that right now.
And that's the problem.
That's the first thing I would do.
That's the problem. General, good to speak to you. A very Merry Christmas to you and your lovely wife and your family, and Happy New Year, and we'll speak to you soon, sir.
Thank you, Steve.
Take care. General Vallely, ladies and gentlemen. All right, up next, Larry Sabato. We'll talk about the Clinton-Warren battle. But first, actor John Wayne's legendary career spans over 3 decades. And during that time, he was nominated for 15 Academy Awards. But did you know he only won 1 time? In 1970, let's take a look back with this hour's American Moment.